Welcome to Black Rain Official. I am Mike Dean. Guys, I'm out here on my ranch and we're going to talk about off-grid living here in the United States, but this applies wherever you're at. And we're going to talk about some of the challenges and some of the ways that we've come to deal with it. By no means am I an expert in off-grid living. This is an adventure that me and my wife decided to partake. We picked up this beautiful land out here and we decided to build a little tiny home, which on the inside, this one is complete over here. Never mind the mess. We do have a bunch of stuff going on because we are under construction with this new building over here. And so this one over here is exactly 120 square feet. We have a bed in there. We have a tiny little kitchen there. I'll show you some pictures of that. And then over here, this one is a new build. So this one's gonna have a full bathroom in it, and it's gonna have a little mini kitchen and then a bed in this one. And then over there, we're gonna do an addition to that and make that one bigger. But we wanted to knock this one out first because we need an office space for now, but it is not completely finished on the inside. And you know, everything under here right now is under construction. We are kind of coming towards the end of winter out here. We are in the high desert, so it does get freezing cold. And that's one of the things that is the biggest issue living out here off grid is dealing with the weather. So let's talk about freezing and water. Let's take you over here and kind of show you what we got going on with the water right now. Now over here, this used to be an outdoor shower when we first built the place, and it worked great because we only came out here in the summertime, so we didn't have freezing. We just drained the tanks and all the lines before the winter, and it was good. Now that we're out here full time, we've taken that outdoor shower down and we're going to reuse all of the parts and put them in the new shower that's going to be indoors. So for right now, we have two IBC tanks. I think that's what they're called, or ICB, IBC, I don't know. A couple of water tanks. These were all food grade. So if you are getting these used, make sure that you are seeing the certificate that they were only used for food preparation. And these were both used for olive oil, and that's all they ever had in them. And they actually still had olive oil in them when I purchased them. So it made me feel very confident that I was not going to poison our water or anything like that. So this is under construction. I just put these, moved these over here. And so I don't have the lines connected yet, but we will put the lines over here, and we're gonna run a pipe into the house, a water pipe into the house. We'll have to fully insulate that because again, we're out here in the winter time now. So for right now, it's a little haphazard, but we have our 5 micron filter along with our C-Flow pump. I love these little C-Flow pumps. You can get them off of Amazon. They're about $100. They work really, really well, and I have not had any problems with them. Now I did have two, and I made the mistake of leaving one outside at nighttime, and it froze on the inside. And that's no bueno. That's kind of bad. And so then I tried to run it, and I ended up burning the motor up because it could not pump any water. So now I only have one. I got to get another one because you always need a backup out here. We are an hour away from town, and so that's kind of one of the other issues of living off grid. If you're gonna live off grid, you're most likely going to be a distance from town. Otherwise, you're just gonna connect to the city, right? So for us, it's approximately 45 to 50-minute drive, mostly dirt road to get there. So there's a couple of other considerations. We'll get to those here in a second when you are a long distance from any civilization. Now there is a small town about 25 minutes from us. They have a little grocery store there, and then they have a little lake that we like to go to as well. And that's about 30 minutes. And that's actually where we get our water from. So for the water, they have potable water at the lake, and we have a year-round pass, and that only cost us, I think, $40. So we're able to go there. They have hot showers there, obviously the lake, campground. It's beautiful, so we go hang out there. But then when we're there, also every so often, we'll go and we'll fill up the tanks. Now, yes, it's potable water, but one of the things is, like right now, we don't have ours covered, so you'll get algae growth in these, and we've dealt with that in the past. It wasn't a major issue, but we do treat these with bleach. And so you basically want 1 to 2 my solar platform just fell down. The wind got it. It's a little janky right now. I'm going to admit that straight up. My other solar panel is a little bit more stable. I actually built this one out. This one we just got. This is from Vitomon. It's a 400 watt solar panel. And I just had that propped up with a 2x6. So the wind just caught it and told it to fall over right in the middle of making this video. Hey, welcome to off-grid life, right? Crap happens. But yeah, so you want 1 to 2 parts per million of household bleach, unscented, make sure it's unscented. And then that's gonna make the water safe for drinking. Of course, I would never drink or have my family drink right out of these tanks. We use a filter for that. And so get yourself like a Berkey filter, a tabletop filter or something like that, or its equivalent, and to run your water, or make sure you just have plenty of store-bought bottled water for your drinking and cooking. But for showering, washing dishes, brushing teeth, never had any issue with this. It's always been safe. Nobody's ever gotten sick. And the only issue that we did have is we did not treat it for a long period of time over our winter. We left some water in there, and it grew some algae, which I then had to go and power wash out. So to prevent that, we are going to buy some blackout covers for these that are very hardy. The reason why I haven't done it yet is I've tried covering these in the past with different types of tarps and stuff, and we get some pretty brutal wind out here, and it just whips it to pieces and destroys it. And so that's the reason why we haven't really tried to black these out. But we're going to try some actually made covers for these. If you guys have any suggestions, drop a comment down below and let me know. So that's kind of our water situation right now. Again, we'll have water feeding into the shower and the little kitchenette that we're going to put in there. Now on the back side of the first building that we did, which is fully complete on the inside, we have another ICB tote or IBC tote, whatever it is. Guys, drop a comment down below. Let me know, is it IBC tote or ICB tote? I have no idea, actually. But we have another one over here because we just have a little sink and we catch rainwater off of this one. So this is a rainwater tank. We got our first rain of the new year, and we collected about 5 gallons of water. We don't get a lot of rain out here, about 10 to 13 inches a year, and that's it. Most of that comes in a couple of months from now, and over about a 2 or 3 month period, you'll get all of the rain for the year, and then you're done. So power, let's talk about power. Right now, this is what we got going on for our power situation. And again, excuse the clutter here. This is in the middle of trying to figure this stuff out. So we do have a Predator Harbor Freight generator. We've had 3 of these now. It is the inverter, it's the 4500. So basically it'll handle 3600 watts of continuous power. I've never got it to be able to handle 3600 watts of continuous power, ever. It will cut out. The max I can usually get it to is about 3200 watts. And if you go beyond that, you're just gonna shut this thing down. But you get what you pay for. This is a Harbor Freight gas generator, and I've had to replace it on warranty twice in 2 years. The first time it just completely cut out, would not work. I was doing regular oil changes on it, could not figure it out, changed filter, everything. It just would not start. And so I took it back. Fortunately, I did have warranty on it. I took it back. Harbor Freight was great about it. Gave me a new one. Guys, if you ever take a generator back on a warranty, make sure you take all of the gasoline out of it first, because they will not accept it at Harbor Freight unless the gas is completely drained. So make sure that you've already done that. You don't want to do it in the parking lot, which is what I had to do in a bottle. It was not fun. It was not fun. So lesson learned on that. Had that generator for about 6 months, and it worked fine, but then all of a sudden the gas line just cracked and broke open. Now, as you can see, I have it covered. It's not out in the sunlight. So there's no reason why that thing should have cracked and just was spewing gasoline all over my shed here. So again, had to take it back on warranty. They were great about it. This time I took all the gas out here and then drove it to town. And then they gave me this one. So far, this one's been working great, but I definitely don't recommend Harbor Freight's Predator generators. I've just had too many issues with them. So if I were you, I would probably go Honda, pay a little bit more, but get that reliability that you're just not gonna get with Harbor Freight's Predator. And this, nothing against Harbor Freight. I go there all the time. I love Harbor Freight. You get great deals on stuff. I took a big chance on buying a big purchase for a generator, and it just hasn't really worked out. I don't know how much longer this one's gonna work, which is why we invested finally in solar. So that right there, if you can see it, that is our Pecron E3600. And yes, I'm not gonna leave it out here for very long. This is just temporary until I get this thing behind me, or in front of me here, behind you, all situated and figured out. But the Pecron E3600 has been fantastic. I absolutely love it. It is charging that cabin right now, completely powering it, and it is helping to power our new office right now, slash new tiny home that we're building. And then, as you've seen, the solar panels, I have the 300 watt solar panel from Pecron. This has been working great. I built this little platform for it, and you know, it comes with these grommets so you can mount it to something, and that's what I did here. This one is I'm basically able to move it whichever way. Right now we're in the winter, so it's extreme south position for the sun, which is over there. And then over here I have a solar panel from a great sponsor of the channel, my other channel, my sports channel. This is from Vitomon. This is their 400 watt panel. Again, this one is foldable, it is mobile, you can take it wherever you want. Right now I just have it on the wood shed slash generator shed slash solar power shed, and it is connected to the Pecron, helping to charge the Pecron. And then inside I have the Vitomon 1800, the Jump 1800, and that is powering this building right now for the lights. And I also use it to power all of my power tools, like my skill saws, etc. So inside here, this is our Vitomon, and this is really great. So this is the Jump 1800, super lightweight. Even my wife can carry this around, and it's right now it's charging the lights in here and some other stuff, and I love it. It's great. So I have two systems. If anything happens with the Pecron, I have the Vitomon. And if anything happens to the Vitomon, I have the Pecron. And if anything happens to both of them, I have the Predator. So that's the other thing about being off-grid, is you want to make sure that you have redundancies in water, power, and then, you know, transportation. Making sure that you're able, if there is a flat tire, that you know how to change it, that you have a spare, that you have an air pump, that you have spare oil on hand, spare gas on hand. You want to make sure that you're not having to call somebody and have them drive 45 minutes, which is going to cost you $100-200 just to get them to come out here to fix something for you. Be self-reliant. I have thousands of dollars worth of tools, everything. I am a contractor by trade, so I have a bunch of tools. I can fix and build just about anything that I need to do. So this is the inside of the new building. Obviously it's not done. I need to run electrical, I need to run plumbing. This is going to be the bathroom over here, and then over here we'll have just a little kitchenette, and then over here is going to be office, and possibly even like we could put a bed in here and make this just a little tiny home or whatever. Haven't really decided on exactly how we're going to situate this. Got to get all the plumbing and electrical in first, and then it'll be going. This one is 8 feet by 16 feet, so it's a little bit bigger than the other one, and because this one is 10 by 12, it kind of limits what we can do with it. By making this one a little bit more elongated, now we're able to put a bathroom in there and stuff like that. And then over here, this was an outdoor shower, and I'll show you the pictures here of how this used to look. It was really beautiful. We used to Airbnb this place out. People loved it. Right now, unfortunately, I'm having to use this as tool storage, because when we moved out here permanently, I had no place to put all of my tools, like back in my house in the city. So currently going to use that. What will we bring back the outdoor shower over here? I think not. I think eventually we're going to take this out, because this does block the beautiful views over here, and this is where the sunrise comes from. So most likely we're gonna eventually take this down, and I'll build another shed over there behind the other new tiny house. This is the outdoor hot water tank. This is, I think, 5 gallons of hot water. It's electric, so it takes a lot of energy, but I was using the generator, so I didn't really worry about it. And you know, we take about 5-minute shower with this thing and you're good to go. I can't remember the brand of this one. I'll try and find the brand of it, and I'll drop a link on an Amazon link. But it's worked great. I have it taken apart right now. As you can see, everything is disconnected, but it worked absolutely flawlessly out here, and it can be mounted outside. It is completely waterproof, and it has an anti-freezing mechanism in there, so it never froze. That wasn't an issue. I used to have water tanks here. Now let's talk about human waste and just composting in general. So when you're off grid, you're obviously not tied to the system. We do not have septic out here yet, and we don't have a well out here. To put in septic, you have to have a well first. So for now, we are composting all of our waste. I won't show you the gory details in there, but this is our compost system. So we have this bin over here. Half of it underneath is over a year old, so it's fully composted underneath. I'm using that as a starter base. And then this is the new compost is going in here. Once that gets a little bit more full, I will then switch it over to here. And then this one will be marked, we'll put a date on it, and it will sit for 1 full year. And then we'll start a new one over here. And so by the time this one is full again, which takes about a year, this one will be fully composted and safe because it does have human waste in it. And in order for human waste to be completely composted safely, you need between 6 months to a year. Safe side, just go with a year. So that's what we're planning on doing with that. That's actually going to move as well. We're going to move that again further away and behind the other new structure. And we'll go from there once we get that done. I have a hawk over here. This hawk is so cool. He must live around here, but he's always here. I don't know if you guys can see him. We got a lot of rabbits, ground squirrels, and stuff like that. So again, I get to just come out here and watch this guy just hunt every single day. Don't know if it's a guy or a girl. Could be either. But that's the beauty of living off grid. Let's talk about mental health for a minute. I know this video is getting long, but I want to talk about something that's very important. Living in the city, a lot of people feel anxiety, stress, and they suffer from poor health conditions. And that was the impetus for me to come out here. Since last year, I've had several major health issues that have popped up. Despite the fact that I don't drink, I don't smoke, try to eat relatively healthy, though I do have a sweet tooth, and I work out. But that doesn't matter. The stress of living in the city, of running a business in the city, and just having that grind that you have to do to survive in the city, it wears on you. And so when we bought this place and we put the Airbnb out here and we would come stay out here, I just felt all that stress go away. And so eventually we just decided, you know what, let's come out here. Let's live out here. Let's experience this. I don't know if this is going to be the rest of my life. I don't know if this is going to be long term. But I know this, when I'm out here, my stress levels are down here. It is night and day difference from living in the city. Driving on a country road versus a busy city street is a joy versus like living in hell. Not having rude people screaming at you, flipping you off, road rage, all of those things. You don't get that out here. When I drive by somebody out here in the country, they always wave at me, which was weird at first. I didn't understand. I asked mom, I was like, why does that guy keep waving at me? But everybody does it out here because everybody's friendly out here. And it's just a whole different atmosphere. So even if you're not gonna go off grid in the desert or in the mountains or in the forest, wherever you may be, even if you're not gonna do it full time, get out here in an off-grid situation. Go rent an off-grid Airbnb for a week and just experience it. Experience the mental health that you're going to gain from that. And even if you only do that, and like we did, you know, we'd come down here a couple of times a year and spend a week, right? And that was almost enough for me. But after I started getting some serious health issues, we decided, you know what, we're not living in the city anymore. We're going to make this transition. We're going to make this move, and we're just going to do it. And so we did. And it's a lot of work. It's not easy. There's always something to do, always something to fix, but it's worth it. And if you got any value out of this video, hope you'll consider subscribing, help us grow out this channel. I do a lot of cool stuff out here, from product reviews for outdoor gear, and I go up into the mountains and do some crazy adventures up there and survival stuff up there. So if you guys like that kind of stuff and you want to see more of the off-grid stuff, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment down below, and let me know what kind of videos you'd like to see on the channel. Thank you guys so much. See you in the next video.